Welcome to the Audacity, the podcast where we help you not raise a loser son. We have a great show for y'all. We are going to be talking about red pill terminology in the main segment. We have some hot tea to discuss that has to do with Cardi B. We have tea about Jimmy Kimmel, the ABC decision to remove his show and the updates on that. And we're also going to be talking about the Rapture, so stick around. For the mailbag today, we have a burning question. Can men and women be platonic friends with people that they find attractive? And I sense, when we talked about it before the show, I sensed a little bit of a difference of opinion. So I'm really excited to dig into that. And then if you are subscribed to our Crumpet segment, whether on Patreon or through our YouTube memberships, we'll be playing a little game in that segment called Slick or Ick. And to find out what that means, you will have to tune in. I'm sure it will be great though. Then once again, if you want to see the Crumpets, please go ahead and sign up on our Patreon. Sovereign's going to give you all the perks and tell you a little bit more about that.
Yes, so if you have not already, join our Patreon. We baby the Patreon. We love it over there. So you will get perks like member shout outs, early ad-free episodes, VIP chats, and exclusive access to our Crumpet segment where Lisa and I get really unhinged and have fun. And we laugh.
We had so much fun last week. Oh my God. The Fuck, Marry, Kill was just one of my favorite things.
Oh,
we both watched it multiple times.
Yes. I think I'm actually going to watch it again later. But anyway. You also get voting power when we are picking some of the segments. So those are our little perks. So make sure you join. And shout out to our brand new tea spiller, Kathleen.
Yay, Kathleen.
Woo,
welcome. Well, thanks so much for being here, y'all. And let's just dive right in. I think we have a lot of like fun little things to talk about for tea time. And why don't we start with, we've started categorizing them just for our own like benefit. And we have we need to talk about this. And we have an unhinged news. And we have a crown or clown. And so all of the tea is sorted into those categories. There's more categories, but those are the three for today. So why don't we start with the we need to talk? This was your tea, Sovereign.
So with the whole Jimmy Kimmel situation, he was canceled for what I don't even think it wasn't terrible at all.
No.
He just made a joke like comedians. I don't know if he considered himself a comedian or whatever, but comedians are always joking and they're always like making fun of politics and stuff all the time. And it sounded like them bullied his employer to fire him because of what he said regarding
the actual FCC, right? Like it wasn't, like the actual government bullied them.
Which is crazy. So he was taken off the air because he was speaking on the guy who was assassinated. So all of his followers and people who tune into his show decided to retaliate and they started canceling Disney, I think Disney Plus, Hulu, ABC. Some people were canceling ESPN because Disney, I guess, is like the, I don't know,
I love how it accidentally exposes a huge monopoly too.
Oh, I know.
Everyone's like, no, if you really want to boycott them, you got to boycott these like 17 things and cancel your Disney trip and do that. You just love to see it when cancel culture goes both ways. Like you can pick that fight, but it goes both ways. And I love it. I saw something where they lost like billions of dollars overnight and like the cancel page like started glitching for people and like they couldn't cancel it.
Yep.
And
it was like, over 3 billion. It was 3.4 or 3 point something billion at the time when I saw. Mm-hmm. And they made it to where people couldn't even cancel. And I was watching videos where they were saying, are you sure you want to cancel? Okay, we're going to lower the price down to $2.99 or some ridiculously small amount. And it's like, okay. So I'm like, if you're willing to charge that low amount, that means you could have been doing it all along. And y'all have been like greedy and inflation. Like what? Really? I never had any. I don't do Hulu. I don't do Disney. I don't care. I don't ever think anything on those.
First place.
Yeah, I don't support it anyways, just because they don't really have anything good. I am a Netflix girly. They can make Netflix go up to like $25 a month and I'll still pay. But anyways, that's a whole other topic.
Netflix, give her sponsorship.
I know, right? I'm never canceling Netflix. I'm sorry. But yeah, so apparently after that, allegedly now, they offered him his job back. So a part of it was the fact that people were a fan of Jimmy Kimmel and they thought it was unfair. The bigger picture of that was that that's attack on free speech.
Literally.
Because since when can you not joke about whatever and it was a joke or whatever? But
it wasn't so much of a joke. It was, it's interesting how certain people are reacting to things. Like he didn't even say, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of people on TikTok went so much further with it. Like a lot of people on all kinds of social media went so much further with it. I do think it's the job of comedians to kind of push the envelope. Like they're supposed to do that stuff.
Definitely.
And also, it's not really him that's writing these jokes. There's a writer's room. Like, this isn't about the man himself. You know what I mean? It's not like he necessarily comes up with these. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But I've heard like these shows have writer's rooms. And so that's who comes up with the material.
Yeah, absolutely. So apparently he got his spot back. I don't know if I would have went back if I were him, depending on, I don't know his money situation. I don't know what he's got going on. But if it were me and I was already worth X amount of $1 million, I'd be like, fuck you, fuck everybody. I wouldn't go back under those circumstances. But maybe he really loved it there and he decided to go back.
I heard he was concerned about like all the people that work for his show, like losing their
income and stuff. Absolutely. That makes perfect sense, actually. Now, as a Black woman, it's very interesting. I like Jimmy Kimmel. I think he's like gorgeous and whatever else anyways, but whatever. So it's very interesting seeing this happen to a white man. So it's like, now y'all get it. Now, don't get me wrong. It's like, that's what it took for y'all to get, this whole free speech for me, but not for thee type of situation. So I'm glad it had happened because now, hopefully, I could be wrong, maybe some of those people will, kind of say, okay, we're taking this too far now, like free speech. If they can take the free speech away from a very, very rich white man, then what hope is there for the rest of us?
No, seriously.
That's what I'm hoping would come out of this whole situation. Like, that is serious. And I'm glad as many people boycotted. Like, I'm so glad they did. Like I said, I never owned or I never had a membership subscription to any of those. Don't really care. But yeah, if it were me and if I had those subscriptions, I would have definitely jumped on the cancel train for sure, just to prove a point and to show them
money's the only thing that talks to them.
Yes. Again, like boycott with your money. Protest with your money at the end of the day.
The only thing that can stop fascism is capitalism.
It's taking away
I swear to God.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I'm so sorry.
Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy, but that's
the system they set up.
Exactly.
It is what it is.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Well, we have to move on to, okay, I'm going to save the Rapture for last because it's too fucking hilarious. So, okay, our next tea is Crown or Clown. Cardi B has released a brand new album, Crown. That album is amazing. I've had it on repeat.
Outside.
I will say, that's my favorite song. That's like my wake up song. Like before I get out of bed, I blast it through all the speakers in my house. And like, that's what gets me out of bed at this point, as well as all the other kind of like upbeat songs on that album. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of skipping through the slower ones, but I've waited so long for this. Like, she hasn't put out an album in forever, ever since she got together with that horrible man. That shrimp, exactly. And he is. We can't say that about him because,
he's a shrimp.
I love that she said like burned him with that line too. I'm so small and tiny. He's so big and tall.
He's so big and tall.
Oh, I loved it.
That was definitely shaded Offset for sure.
For sure. And at the same time, we kind of found out that she's also pregnant, which... Womp, womp. And I'm not gonna listen. We're not gonna call her like a clown for that or anything like that. She gets to keep her crown because she's Cardi B. She's rich. She can raise that child. She's already been confronted about it on live, and she said, "Listen, we'll figure it out." I don't know. So it doesn't seem like it was a planned thing. It doesn't seem like it's something that she, necessarily like bought into or is like staying bought into. I think she knows that it happened, okay? Like, she's kind of like, whatever. But I just want to, kind of put that warning out there. You know what I mean? If you I just don't want anyone thinking that you have the same like kind of resources and things like that as Cardi B to deal with this, you know? Like, ladies, if you are going to be, you know, post breakup, you're going to be outside, you're going to be like on your rebound, just be careful, you know what I mean? Like, get that IUD inserted, okay? Get that like you know, get on that birth control, you know? Don't trust men when they say like, "Oh, I'll like pull out or whatever." Like, just don't do it, you know? Because even like dealing with the aftermath of that, or like, you know, taking plan B, like that's stressful. Like taking abortion pills, like that's stressful. That's, you know, and by all means do, but like all that to say, just be careful, because you don't want to end up outside for 5 seconds. And then next thing you know, you're going to be going through like an infant stage with your baby and you're going to be stuck in the house.
Seems like when babies get in the picture, just all hell breaks loose.
It changes a man's
I don't know what
chemistry, turns them diabolical or something.
That's the thing.
Like when they can get a famous woman pregnant with a child, their child, like they think they can do anything. They think they run the world now.
And if it's true that he has multiple other women pregnant at the same time, that's your answer right there. Like he doesn't stay in one place for too long. And
diabolical.
The novelty of being with Cardi B will wear off, because it wears off with all of them, it seems like, after a point. And having a baby just kind of seals the deal of, to me, and I'm
I got her.
Yeah.
I won.
Just like her ex-husband, the shrimp. So, yeah. Oh my God, I can't stand him. I'll never forget that. But yeah, it just seems like something, when you have a baby with guys in the industry, it's like mission accomplished or something. I don't know what it is, but within a year or two, usually the relationship goes down.
Like
for whatever
out.
reason.
Yeah, they just lose
that's
interest.
The only thing that I hate for her is like, you're going to have a baby with a guy and that's not going to work out either. You shouldn't get serious with your rebound, in my opinion, because that's all he is.
I know. Please don't. Please don't do that.
Good luck to her. I mean, I'm a Cardi fan.
She's gonna be fine, right? Which is why I'm not
worried about her.
I'm not worried about her.
I'm
not gonna like say anything about her in particular. This is just a general warning, just a general kind of like
don't have a baby by your rebound.
Yes. And that's that. Anyways, congrats to her on the album's like massive success. I do think people love it. I do think it's been like very well received and very well received by me. So
it was well overdue.
Overdue. Yes, absolutely. And I heard they put it was like the fastest album to reach platinum because they put WAP and Up on there at the end. And so that kind of like fudged the numbers a little bit, but good for her. Congratulations. Fastest female album to like get to platinum. I love that for you. Crown. All right. So sounds like I gotta educate Sovereign about Rapture-Tok, and thankfully that has not made its way onto your For You page, but it has been.
It will now because we're talking about it.
I bet it will.
Because I know TikTok is listening.
I just know it will. Basically, I don't even know if I want to play the videos, because they're so. Do you want? Okay, I'll play it.
Yeah, play one.
I'll play you one of the videos. But basically, the gist of it is a lot of Christians seem to think that they're getting raptured. As of when we're recording this, this would be tomorrow. Okay, so, tomorrow, September 23rd.
When you first started talking about this, I thought that it was going to be like in a couple months or like tomorrow.
Tomorrow. And this just started circulating, and I'm like, y'all are not giving people time to like repent or whatever. This is crazy. Y'all are just going to drop this on us like out of nowhere. So yeah, if you're hearing this podcast, I'm so sorry to tell you that you have not been raptured. If you can see us right now, you have not been lifted up to the heavens.
Stop.
Okay.
Please. It's like when you watch a movie and somebody does a pre-recording, like if you're watching this, I'm already dead.
Yeah. So that's us. Yeah, that's us. So here's what these people are saying about the rapture, okay?
Are you seeing this video and wondering where all the people went? Hi, my name's Brianna. am a follower of Jesus Christ. The date is September 7th, 2025 at 6:38 p.m. I am making this video because the Holy Spirit has put it on my heart to leave evidence for those who will be left behind so that they can understand where all the people went and what is to come. The people who disappeared or appeared to be unalived in a great mass are not abducted by aliens, nor did they die in a great mass. We were taken to heaven by Jesus Christ, the Savior of the world, because God's wrath is being poured out on the entire earth for the next 7 years. Those who rejected his son Jesus as the atonement for their sins, because yes, we have all been sinners, will be subject to his judgment in order to try to bring them to himself for a final time.
Okay, so that's one. And then there's another one I want to play really quick.
Okay, brace yourselves, because yes, you read that title right. Listen, the rapture is going to be physically catastrophic and emotionally devastating for the world. And those of you who know your Bible, you know that nearly every book makes some reference.
I just need to play the first part because where she's like, it's going to be emotionally devastating and like whatever. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, wait, you guys promise? You promise you're getting raptured? You promise everybody who calls themselves a Christian right now in the year 2025, I'm saying it sounds like we're going to heaven. It sounds like
we're already going to be there.
I was going to say, like, heaven is coming to earth because, so what's going to happen once all these people are gone? People are going to have free healthcare. People are going to, you know what I mean? Like, all sorts of people are going to be able to exist without actual persecution, like the LGBTQ community.
School shootings.
No school shootings.
All of that will end. There will be none. Like, I'm so sorry.
Where's the threat? Where's the threat?
I hate to try to make fun of people's religion, but honestly, I would love to see their faces on Wednesday.
We're talking about the Rapture-Tok people. Yeah, we're not talking about reasonable, like, people that...
Do you know how many times the rapture was coming in my lifetime?
I know.
I'll be 41 next month. I would say at least once every 10 years. So this would be the 4th time that I've heard about a rapture coming. The end of the world, Y2K, like... yeah, I just want to see their faces on Wednesday. That's all.
I know. And there was another lady who was like prepping stuff, like in her house. She has all these Bibles with like notes for unbelievers, like it's not too late for you, and like all like she has them like bookmarked and everything.
Trolling? What if they're trolling? But what if they're just trying to get views? Because this is ridiculous. I'm sorry. Like,
right?
Do they really believe? I wish I could have seen the face of the woman.
No, people really do believe this shit.
No, I know. I'm talking about the ones on Facebook, like not Facebook, TikTok. Like, are they?
They might be
people on
view
TikTok
farming
do
for sure. Yeah, rage baiting. It seems like religious psychosis, and I don't mean to like make fun of that.
I just called somebody at work that today.
No.
Actually.
Wait, were they trying to tell you there's going to be a rapture?
Oh, yeah, he's always, since I've been there for 3 years and he's been...
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm not going to say his name,
God.
but if any of my coworkers watch this episode, they're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. He's always talking about raptures and the raft and all type, like, it's just...
Is he building an ark? Like, what is he?
According to him, he probably is. I don't know.
Yeah. It just sounds like a different version of like doomsday preppers. Like it's definitely some kind of psychosis because it's like you had people like doing like math and stuff and like they're like trying to figure out the geometry and like they're like, no, everything like lines up. And I'm like, wait, but y'all make fun of astrology.
Yeah.
But y'all don't make fun of...
It's almost the same concept.
That's what I'm saying.
Different,
yeah. Or like they'll be like, yeah, you know, witches are so bad and stuff. But then they'll be like, anyway, so I'm anointing my house with oil and I'm painting a cross on all of my like door hinges or what. Like, what the fuck? You're literally a witch. Like, that's witch shit. That's
exactly.
What you're
if
doing.
You have a cat, you're probably a witch. If that's the case. I mean, I'm just saying.
If you have holy oils, you're probably a witch. You know what I mean? If you have oils that you think will protect you, you're a witch. You know, if you think that like praying over something
or
and like
saging your house.
Yeah. Like that's all witchy shit. And like Christians love to like appropriate these things and like whitewash them and then be like, yeah, but that's like, but it's like you're no different than people who think that like aliens and like UFOs are coming, you know?
It's the exact same. Yeah.
Which let's not go there because I do.
I know.
I got some opinions about aliens. And you know what? The fact that they haven't come yet is like,
right.
I see you. I see you. I see how it is. Yeah. When you do come, don't expect a fucking fanfare from me.
Yeah.
Don't expect me to be like all happy and glad that you came because you should have come sooner.
I agree. You're going to take me away, but I'm not going to talk to you the whole trip. Because I'm upset that you didn't come back.
I know.
I'm going to be like, the whole time.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Because y'all done fucked up. We should have been rescued off of this planet.
By the aliens a long time ago.
A long fucking time ago. But yes. Anyway, so yeah, if you're seeing this, I'm sorry. You're a sinner and you were left behind for 7 years of
of us. Sorry. You're going to burn
the hell with free healthcare and rights for LGBTQ people, rights for women, reparations probably. You know, we could probably get like push reparations through like that. Like
that'll probably go through really quickly, actually.
I'm just saying. Because the Christians were the ones colonizing everything. So
I agree. Unfortunately, that's just the fact.
Anyways, yeah, hope y'all are not here. So all right.
And we're talking about the ones that believe that everybody else
we're literally just talking about the people that right now are calling themselves Christians, because if I were a real Christian, like if I were like the kind of Christian that believed in Christ's words and like Jesus's words, I would never lump myself in with these motherfuckers.
I swear.
No. Absolutely not.
Yes.
Because that's the whole thing, just so y'all know. Also, just so y'all know, from an ex-Christian who knows the Bible better than most of these motherfuckers,
facts.
The rapture is not biblical. That y'all are literally going off the concept of Left Behind books and movies. So that's not biblical. Like nobody is going to get taken up into the sky. Like that's never was in the Bible.
That would be fun though if that were true. Like
it'd be great.
I would like to be just whipped up in the sky just a little bit and then just bring me back.
Well, imagine if God took everyone but the Christians.
Ooh, plot twist.
Plot twist. All right, Ryan's telling us to wrap it up. I could talk about this shit for hours. All right. But we do got to talk about the red pill. We have some terminology to discuss. And like I said last week, we're kind of going back to the basics a little bit. We're trying to do a little bit of outreach for fear of sounding Christian. But we are trying to do a little bit of outreach because there's a lot of people that don't know this stuff by its name and like just don't like know the details of it and wouldn't be able to like recognize it. And we get a lot of questions from like moms or like young women that are like, how can you tell if a guy's like red pilled, or like how can you tell when your son is going down the wrong like pipeline? And so we're kind of coming at it from that angle. And I'm actually really excited about the notes you have in here, Sovereign. So we'll be right back to talk about that more and really dig in, figure out where the starting point is, figure out how to engage with your kids about it. So stick around. We'll be right back. All right, so we are back. We're back to talk about what are red pill men, like what is the red pill and why are we discussing their terminology? Okay, so if you haven't heard of any of these things like red pill or any of the terminology that we're about to discuss, congratulations. You're probably living your best life. You're probably not chronically online, and I love that for you. But chances are your son is. Chances are your son has seen red pill adjacent stuff on YouTube and then was suggested and recommended other videos that are progressively more and more extreme as far as this like red pill terminology goes. Oh, this also pops up with boys in like group chats. You know what I mean? Like your son will be in a group chat and then all of a sudden one of the boys will like post some, misogynistic like clip. And misogynistic means hateful towards women. Misogyny is like the hate of women. He'll post something in there that's like a woman being like degraded, or, men just talking about women in ways that are very sociopathic. And because a lot of boys, they're very susceptible to like peer pressure, just honestly, like all kids are, but it seems to be a thing with boys especially, that they will not like call it out. They'll just kind of go along with it. And if anything, they'll try to be like the next guy to send something into the group chat that's equally as, shocking or equally as hateful or whatever. And so we want to kind of give y'all some tools to be able to nip this in the bud, so to speak, and like be able to have these conversations. And at the end, I'll also recommend a TikTok where one of my mutuals, Hope, is talking about why it's so important to actually address this red pill mentality by confronting it directly. Like, you don't just want to be like saying stuff to your son like, oh, and we respect women, we respect girls, like these kind of vague like sentiments and statements, because that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about they're being led down a pipeline, and like you as the parent are like, the buck stops with you. So all that to say, and like if you're vetting men, also if you're dating, if you're still into that, you should know, right, that red pill guys are basically men who believe that they figured out some secret truth about women. They believe that there's a conspiracy, a war on masculinity, a war on men. They believe that women are all out to use them for like money or status, which we know is absolutely laughable, but they'll say
hypothetical money.
Yeah, it's always the ones with no money that are the most worried about it. Like, it's so crazy because the men with money, what's the first thing they do? Like, they
splurge on a woman because they know that that's necessary to get a woman. As far as like, they just know that that's
it's always
the
men with no it's always the men with no money that actually have this mindset. It's like, oh, the women are just out to get us for our money. Like, what money? And they say things like women only want bad boys, or like nice guys finish last.
Oh my God.
And so if you're raising a son, if you're vetting, you need to know that this stuff shows up on YouTube and social media as advice. And really, it's insecurity. It's being a loser and telling the whole world about it, basically.
A loser shrimp.
A loser shrimp. Exactly.
Or a shrimp loser. Which one sounds?
Shrimp loser. I like that. You're a shrimp loser if you listen to that stuff.
Sorry,
I like the idea of a shrimp because they're kind of like hunched over, and like it just reminds me of like a man just like on the internet, like it's just so angry in somebody's comment section.
I pictured that. Oh, I know. I pictured that with that guy that we talked about last week that went to cheat with an AI.
Oh my God, yeah. Shrimp behavior.
Yeah, it was such shrimp behavior.
I like it. We're doing a great job of like showing people how to use this term properly. So
absolutely,
I like that. So, okay, so let's go over some of the things that they say, because it's not always like very obviously red pill. Like, before we actually get into the terms, like I kind of want to show people the pipeline, right? So they'll say stuff like, men have it harder than women. Right. Masculinity is under attack. I want a submissive wife. Like, why can't I just be honest about that? Boys will be boys. We want feminine energy. We don't want women with degrees. We don't care about your degrees. Yeah. Women are too emotional, and that's why they shouldn't be in leadership positions. Men are logical, and that's why they should. So it could be stuff like your brother who says, I don't believe in marriage anymore. All women just take your money, or 12-year-old son saying like, girls just want bad boys. Like, and that's why I'm like trying to act the way I'm acting. Or a man who says, I work all day. I shouldn't have to help with the kids when I get home.
How diabolical is that?
It's terrible.
Think about a man saying, I work all day. When I get home, I should not have to raise my kids. What? You don't even want to take them to a basketball game or play football with them in a yard. Like, you don't want to do anything. Like, you just don't feel like you should rate. How detached are you from your kids? That is great. I don't know if women take the time to really dissect that and think about why is he that detached to the point where you're making excuses. Because there's men who don't work and they still don't want to raise their kids. So it's like, that's not oh my God.
That's where you start to see that it's all like kind of tangled and like woven together because they feel that way because they think that it being emotional is for women. They're logical, right? All they want to do is go to work and come home. And like logically, that's it. Whereas like they don't believe men should be like emotional about their kids or towards their kids or miss their kids or love their kid. Like it's all intertwined. And like they believe that like not being emotional gives them a pass to demand a leadership position, right? Oh, I've never been emotional. You got to let me be the leader. It's like, okay.
If y'all ever hear men say stuff, anything that she's named so far, and also what we're going to discuss later, just never have kids with a man like that because you are absolutely 100% going to be a single mother, a married single mother, or a divorced single mother. Like I always say, like those are your 3 options. Oh my God. That's pissing me off. Like you don't want to spend time with your own kids and you don't think you should have to? What? There should be nothing on the planet that will make you not want to spend time with your kids. Nothing should keep you away from your kids. Unless being in their direct presence is putting them in actual danger because of something you do for work or something. Outside of that, absolutely the fuck not. Like I just can't even wrap my mind around that. So yeah, don't have kids with men that think this way. Oh my God.
And it's like, yeah, we could like definitely spend so much time like debunking this stuff because it's so like even like on its face, it like doesn't really make sense. You think about it for just like a second too long and you're like, wait a minute. So how can you claim to be the leader of your family if you come home and you do nothing?
And you don't do anything.
You don't lead your family anywhere. Like you come home and you sit on the couch like a
or
follower.
Go to the man cave and drink a beer.
Yeah. So you're actually following your wife's lead. Like you're letting your wife lead your family.
Literally. You're not doing anything. Like let that sink in. You're not doing, he's not doing anything. Leading how? Leaders move. Leaders come up with ideas. Leaders are involved.
Yes.
Like
the buck stops with the leader, right? Yes. So if like your wife is the one that the buck stops with, then you're by default, you're not the leader. Like if your wife knows everything about the children and you don't, you're not their leader.
Not even close.
Yeah. So like there's basically, like this all kind of comes back to they're teaching boys that like showing emotion makes them weak and that women are dangerous if they don't submit and that being a man means being cold, dominant, and in control. And they're basically teaching them this really false and isolated idea of masculinity. Like they're basically like, for a man, you are not supposed to touch the things that we consider as feminine because that would make you a woman. And then, you start, again, you ask too many questions and you're like, well, why is that bad? And it's just because they hate women. Like they're threatened by women. There's something there that they're like, it's like unfamiliar territory. And so it's kind of like bad territory. Like they're afraid. I don't know. I don't know. We might have just like set up society in a way that being a woman is bad. It's a bad thing. That's why bitch is an insult. That's why like anything having sissy, pussy, cunt, like all these things are just insults. And they all have to do with women. So
that's so sad.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about some of the phrases that you have listed there. Do you want to go over some of those?
Yeah. So it's probably not the younger boys yet saying this, but this is what they turn into when they hit their like late teens, 20s, 30s and above.
And this is who they're listening to. Yeah, they're going to say stuff like
that.
The
12-year-olds are 13-year-olds, 7-year-olds, whatever. They're listening to men who say this stuff. So for an example, they talk about if you want to be able to spot a misogynistic man, this is the type of stuff that they say. Women hit the wall. They're always talking about a woman hitting the wall, which means basically your value declines. Your looks decline after age 30? Because it used to be 25 and then now it's 30.
They're moving their own goalposts. I love it.
Yeah.
Because women keep proving them wrong.
Yeah.
Look at Halle Berry.
Literally. That's exactly why. And they're going to move, the goalpost is going to move up to 35. Oh, stop. the goalpost is going to move another 5 years. And then, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. Yeah. They believe society makes it easier for women and not them. So they always talk about the court systems always siding with women and not men, which is like, especially when it comes to the whole custody thing, you'll hear them say that the courts favor the women over the men, which is not true. Most men don't actually want to go to court and get custody. That's why they don't get it. They don't fight for it.
But they do love to talk about it as if they did.
As if they're fighting, and they're not. Yeah. I promise you, if a man is talking about he went to court, first of all, he's not going to even, if you ask him, did he go to court? He's going to say no, most likely.
Because I know they're going to side with the woman.
Yeah, I just know they're going to side with the woman. The only way a judge will tell a man, no, you can't have custody of your kid is if like he's abusive and it's on record, or he has a drug problem.
Even that
something that's on record. Them. And sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes they still say that's
his right.
Yeah, I've heard mothers complain that the judge still gave custody to a father who was physically abusive. So I'm just saying. But they'll just keep lying about that. They also say stuff like plate theory. So this is something that I'm newly familiar with myself. Basically, a man should juggle multiple women at one time so that no one like single woman can have power over them. So in their minds, they need to have more than one woman at the same time because it makes them feel vulnerable, because vulnerability is feminine. That's a girl's trait, right? Yes. And so they don't want to feel like that. They don't want any woman to have any kind of... They're basically afraid that if they catch feelings for one woman, they're emasculated.
It's going to turn them into a woman.
Yeah, it's going to turn them into a woman, basically. So if they have 2 and 3 or more women...
Fellas, is liking women gay? I'm so sorry.
I know, it makes you wonder.
It really does.
Liking women is gay.
Yeah.
You like women? That's gay, bro.
That's gay,
bro. But anyway, so I think the theory behind that is just if I'm focusing on more than one woman, I won't fall for any of them because I don't want to be vulnerable. So because you got to divide your time and whatever, you're really not getting to know them. You're really not developing a bond. You're just using them for whatever you're using them for. And then this is a big one. And I will say a lot of men probably are not aware the negative connotations behind this word, but a lot of them are aware. They use females instead of women. That is a huge, like, oh my God. These females, see, all y'all females, he's a misogynist. So just know, I don't care how sweet you think he is, there's a part of him that believes women have a place. And they should be over here in the corner or in the kitchen barefoot and or whatever they believe. Doesn't matter how nice he is. If he's saying females. Now, I have had a few male friends that I've corrected because I really think there are a few men who just don't realize that it's a disrespectful.
They just repeat it.
They just keep saying it. Right.
Repeating it.
Do I think the vast majority of them know exactly what they're doing? Yes. Especially the red pill guys, especially the ones online, the podcast bros, the passport bros. They all know exactly what they're doing. Men in your everyday life at the shop. These females as a way to detach themselves from women and to feel superior. Because that's literally, they want to feel detached. Like, I'm up here and she's down there.
I'm a man and she's a female.
Yeah.
It's a whole subreddit, actually. Yeah. Men and females. Like, that's a subreddit.
That is
you can
crazy.
Go to see endless examples of this. I think that's interesting, too, that you've mentioned, like, you've had to correct certain people that you're like, I don't get that vibe from them, but it's like they were just repeating it. Yeah. I think it's kind of indicative of, like, what kind of content they're being shown online. Like, they may not be themselves, like, outwardly, like, misogynistic, or they may not, but it's like, you can tell that's what your algorithm is showing you. Like that must be what you're like listening to, even if you don't realize like you're listening to like overt misogyny. You think you're listening to advice. You know, that's the thing about all this is like they think they're listening to advice. They think they're getting dating advice.
The reason why men calling women females is disrespectful is because they don't call men males.
No.
They call men men. They don't call you women. They say female. Female what? Female dog, a female cat, a female donkey, a female... like, a female is just the female opposite of male. They don't want to give a woman the respect of calling her a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very derogatory term.
It's like dehumanizing.
It's very dehumanizing.
Dehumanizing. Like they're taking away your humanity and they're like, you're a species.
Yes,
like
absolutely. And they do it on purpose because they call men instead of males.
Yes.
It would be like, in my mind, I would say they don't mean any harm if they were always calling men males.
Mm-hmm. But very
and
few.
females. But they're not. They're saying men, female. So it's very disrespectful. So just pay attention to the men around you and start like really listening to their conversation. You're going to find that they're misogynist. It just is what it is. So whenever you have a conversation with a man that's red pill, it will always seem like they're judging you or they're sizing you up. Like you're being measured in some way.
You're so right. Yes. Yes.
Always.
It reminds me of that. It reminds me of that song that went viral on TikTok.
Which one?
Do you have any kids? And then she's like, yes, I have one daughter.
Yeah,
how about you? And he's like, how many baby daddies do you have?
I got a daughter. Oh, how did it go? I used to sing that song.
Yeah,
it was
I have one daughter.
Yeah, I got one daughter or something like that.
I understand, but is she by the same father?
It's just ridiculous.
That's the kind of shit they'll be asking you, though. They'll be like, what's your body count?
What's your body count? Yeah. It's going to always feel like they're sizing you up. Like that's what it's
because they feel like they
like.
Figured out some like magic formula, right? Like 0 body count plus, like 100% submissive plus this and that equals I'm a man. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, they're just externalizing stuff. Because why would your body count have anything to do with
him?
You know?
Yeah. And also they want to see if you're wifey material, which is like a whole nother.
Oh my God, Pandora's box.
That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, we're not gonna go down that box today. But
you never want to be wifey material. If a man ever calls you wifey material, run.
He's
run. He
you.
thinks you're dumb.
Yep.
He thinks you're dumb.
And in case you didn't know that, ladies, that is not a flex.
No.
He's like, I can pull the wool over her eyes. She's a dumb bitch. That's literally what, they're not going to say that to you, but that's what they're thinking. And that's why they will marry you because they're like, I want a dummy. So that's why I'm going to go get one. And I'm talking about these particular men who think this way. All men obviously don't think their wives are dummies. But
of course.
But these red pill men in particular.
And they'll be the ones that call you wifey material because that's like your role. Like they think that should be like your role in life.
That's what you're supposed to do.
And they think it's a compliment. And it's like, no. Like that means they haven't listened to a single thing you've said about yourself. That means they don't give a fuck about your ambitions, your goals, your hopes and dreams.
They don't care
exactly. And that's why they say that. No, because they really do mean it. And like at this point, they're kind of starting to just say the quiet part out loud.
Absolutely.
For sure.
You'll find that decent, like good quality men, I don't know if I've ever heard them say, you wifey material. Like, I don't even know if they've ever even said that. Like, what?
No.
So they don't see you as an individual. They generalize all women as being the same. They use females instead of saying women because it makes them feel superior and detached, like I said earlier. They see relationships, red pill men see relationships as transactional.
Oh, yes.
They say you're wifey material. They say you'd make a good mom. These so-called compliments are tied to roles that you should be playing and not you as an individual. That is the key to look out for. Because it's like, oh, you would be great doing this. Oh, you would be good at that. Roles, not who are you? What makes you tick? How do you like your eggs scrambled? Cooked in the morning. Like, what are your dreams? They don't care about that. They care about what roles you should be in as a woman. So a lot of women think if they're saying, oh, you would be a good mom or you would be a good wife, they're like, oh, it's a compliment. It's not. They're looking to find out who they can use.
Don't let that make you feel warm and fuzzy on the inside. No,
do not.
That is not a good man. That is not a green flag. And like, if it's something that you really want, like if it's your calling in life to be a wife and a mother, which I would kind of urge you to reconsider. Well, like not, okay, listen,
I know
not like, but just like fully like dedicating yourself to that in a way that's like male gazy. Cause I do think like some women have always wanted kids and like they're great moms because of it. And like, I do think it's like a societal contribution. And I do think that like,
absolutely.
It's a very valid path in life. But like, you should always keep yourself at the center of that too, you know, and just realize that even though that can be like your calling in life and like that's valid, still don't take that shit as a compliment. Still know that that's a man who expects you to do all of that work. That's not a man who's going to be a present father. What was that thing where people are saying like a lot of men don't want to be husbands and fathers. They want to have a wife and children.
Yes. That's
that man. The man who's going to say, you're good, you're going to be so great, you're going to do this and that. Like, he wants to have a wife and children. He does not want to be a husband and father. He's preemptively putting that responsibility all on you. So
yeah, and he's telling you this is those hidden language that women don't pay attention to. He's telling you by saying, "Oh, you would be a good mom. Oh, you would be a good housekeeper. Oh, you would be a good cook. Yeah. Oh, you can cook. Oh, you know." So, you know, and it's one thing to compliment that, like,
of course,
once you're kind of like already in, but if they're doing it ahead of time, I don't know. I just feel like it can be a yellow flag, but it can also just be a flat out red flag. So just keep your eyes on, or keep your ears open to that. Red pill men also have an obsession with looks and youth. So if you're always hearing men talk about a woman's looks or you're too old, kind of like the whole hitting the wall thing, they're red pill. It is what it is.
They get even creepier with it. They'll be like, women are the most fertile when they're 13.
Yeah. Like, it's
what
like,
the fuck?
Really?
You are straight up.
But would be some of them, not all of them, but would be ready to kill. Some of them will be. Some of them don't care. If some grown ass man was talking that shit about their 12-year-old daughter, like, what about your 12-year-old daughter? Are you know what I mean? But it's okay for you to subject somebody else's daughter, but you don't want. And don't get me wrong, I know there's plenty of men who don't care about their daughters at all. I know plenty of them.
At best, like a lot of these men, especially the red pill men, are territorial. They're not protective. They're just territorial. They're like, that's my daughter. Like, you're not going to say that about her. But yeah, like you said, they say it about other 13-year-olds. It's like, you're still predatory. And you're just a territorial predator. So
literally.
Gross.
So yeah, if they're bringing up a woman's age a lot or making jokes about women hitting the wall or expiration dates, they love using women expire after a certain age.
Where's that stamped on my body? Like, should I be like looking for?
Do I need a date?
Where's my expiration date?
Do we need, what is it? September the wait, what's the We're expiring because the Rapture is coming on the 23rd of September.
Yes,
like, we just
2025. We're all gonna be expired, girl. I don't know.
We got to go out with a bang.
I just find it so funny that meanwhile, most of them have a dad bod by like 25 and a freaking receding hairline and like all that. Again, I'm not shaming anyone. I'm just saying, like, listen.
But you can't be a pot calling a kettle black. Like, that's all.
Exactly.
Like, you can't. You can't say I want a woman that's a 10 and you're a 3. Like, that's just not the way
you're over here
works.
Judging women like, oh, she hit the wall, and like you're sitting there looking like fucking.
Oscar the Grouch.
Right. Oscar the Grouch. Exactly. Unshaven, like
living
unkempt,
in a trash can.
Seriously, like shirt stretching over your belly. Like, oh my God, please give me a break.
Exactly.
Like, literally. And also, I was just going to say that like nature doesn't agree with you. Like nature, by nature, a lot of like animals, like mammals especially, they do expire, right? Past their fertile years. Like not a lot of animals live much past that. And men are technically like fertile into their old age, and so they don't really have this to contend with. But the fact that women got menopause, that's nature saying you deserve to live even when you're not fertile. That's nature saying you don't hit a wall. That's nature saying you, in fact, are now here to be like an important part of society. Like older women have always been that, you know? And so
very true.
It's one of those things that's like literally disprovable. If that were true, if women were useless.
We would die off after a certain age, naturally, of natural causes, right?
Menopause would mean death, right?
Literally.
But it doesn't. So debunked.
I totally agree.
Disproven. Wrong.
Yeah. Another thing they say: a man's value goes up with age, and a woman goes down. You'll hear that phrase Or men age like fine wine and women spoil like milk. Like they'll say stuff, those types of things. And it's just like, sir,
they're just obviously not true. Like,
I agree. They also dismiss emotions. They love saying things like logic over emotions. Listen, anytime a man says logic over emotions, you're not dealing with a emotionally intelligent man 9 times out of 10. There are emotionally intelligent men who they actually have logic, and they'll say you got to take your emotions out of this and like think logically. But is normal human. But it's not. But these men say it about everything. Like no. You know, their entire family house just burned down, and they'll be like, nope, logic over emotions. I gotta go, find me another wife and kids. I'm, whatever. They're dead. Right. Like, and that's extreme. But I'm just saying they literally will say it for anything, everything. And it's ridiculous. It kind of
makes you like really cynical and like cold-hearted.
Yeah.
And also, like, I just want to say that they don't consider anger an emotion. They consider that apparently like part of logic or something. Like, but anger is emotional,
masculine, and it makes you an alpha male.
Right. And it's like, no, anger is an emotion, and it's one of the weakest emotions. It's one of the like surefire signs that you don't know how to emotionally regulate yourself. Like if you jump straight to anger, of course there's situations where you can be angry, where anger is just, where anger is justified. But in a lot of situations, if a man that just jumps straight to anger, he's very emotional, and he only has one emotion that he takes from 0 to 100. And it's like, that just goes to speak to his like emotional intelligence and where it's actually at.
Absolutely agree. It just highlights how childish and immature they are actually.
Childish. Thank you. Yes, that's the emotion that like toddlers run off of. They have 2 emotions, happy or angry. You know what I mean? Then it's like, because they don't know how to recognize the other ones. They haven't built up the emotional complexity. Absolutely. Right. And it's like, you're dealing with like a 40-something-year-old man who can only be happy or angry. Like, oh my God.
That's awful.
Please.
When you really put it that way, that sounds
She needs you to change his diaper too. Like, oh my God.
Oh my God. Stop. Not changing
He doesn't know how to use his words. Like, he has too many big
feelings.
have
to change his diaper, and it's not a regular diaper. It's a pissy, heavy diaper. Ew, like, it's just...
And he has a little rash on his bottom.
Yes.
He's just been sitting and stewing in it.
Oh, at that point, just throw the whole man away.
Throw the whole man. Like, whole man disposal services.
1-800.
Have that on speed dial.
This is another thing. They always think women should be submissive. They're always talking about a woman being submissive. They complain about women not being like their mothers or grandmothers, which we already know what that's all about.
There's a certain type of issues.
Yeah. They're upset that now they're not going to get the same kind of women that their grandfathers got, where the women didn't have rights to vote and have their own.
It was never submission. It was always control.
It was always, they were literally controlled. And that's the part they don't understand. They were oppressed. And they don't understand most of those women did not stay because they wanted to. A lot of them, when their husbands died, they were like, free. They were literally free. Yeah, they were. And they never many of them never remarried because why? Because for what?
And many of those men died suddenly under mysterious circumstances.
Oh yeah. So. And to this very day, even unsolved mysteries,
nobody knows.
Couldn't.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Forensic files couldn't figure it out back then because the technology wasn't. The DNA and all that stuff wasn't. Yeah.
God bless them.
Exactly. Aren't we happy about that?
Yeah. My favorite thing about men wanting women to be submissive is that they'll say that and then they'll go like sign up to be in the army, or they'll go and like play a sport, or they'll go and like go to church and like get into the ranks at church, where guess what? They have to submit to someone.
You're literally
every
a follower in
single time.
Absolutely.
Yes. And like they'll even sign up for those like crazy boot camps where like they pay $18,000 for another man to yell at them and call them a sissy and like hose them down and like make them do push-ups in like a parking lot while he degrades them. And then they'll be like, yeah, but women should be submissive.
Maybe that's where that comes from. Like there's a part of them that knows that they're submissive. And you know how sometimes people just want to pass the buck? Yeah. They just want to feel powerful over something. I don't know. Because they felt conquered at one point. I do.
That's exactly. I really do think that it kind of goes hand in hand with like the whole. This is an ideology that weak men jump to, like mentally weak. And I don't mean, I'm not talking about physical strength. I mean you're mentally weak. You cannot handle, right, like certain things about the world. So you jump to these like made up fairy tales and narratives where women are feminine and submissive and they're not a threat to you because, you know, they're too busy cooking and cleaning and being barefoot and pregnant. It's like, you have to realize you are threatened by that. Like if that's your dream world, then you're afraid of women. You don't like women. You're afraid of them.
Somebody got mad at me. I did a video last week and I said that I believe that about 85% of men, if they could legally tie women up in basements to keep them from going out, to keep them from being talked to by other men, and if they could put duct tape over their mouths to keep them from talking, I really think if it was legal to do that, about 85% of men would do it. I really do. I'm like,
do you remember that Christmas
and somebody got mad
trend?
at me, and I'm like, if you really think about it, these men complain about women talking too much. They're nagging, so of course they're going to put duct tape on you. They'll keep you in the basement, and they'll bring you up when they want a meal or when they want to get fucked or whatever, and then they'll put you right back in the basement. Like, I really believe a lot of men, I don't think all men would do that, but I think the vast majority of them would if it was legal. I do.
I actually know a woman that happened to, and she had to be rescued, by men that she knows that traveled across state lines and brought guns and stuff with them, and that's literally how that man treated her. And he was just a normal dude. She met him in church. So,
I'm not surprised.
So there's that. So I don't think you are wrong. And I also remember, I'm old enough to remember the Christmas card trend where it was like all is silent or something like Silent Night or something. And like, it was literally men standing there with like their wives were tied up with Christmas lights with duct tape over their mouth.
What?
And the little girls were also, their little daughters were also tied up. But yeah, there was like this whole Christmas card trend where they were tying up all the women in the family. Couple years ago, like
was it on TikTok?
It was like a Christmas card trend. You know how like every year there's kind of like somebody will start a trend. Yeah.
They use Silent Night as like what? The woman needs to be silenced?
Yes, literally.
Oh my God.
Literally like
I'm not surprised. What the hell?
You see that? You see how the little girl is tied up and the little boy has like a thumbs up? Isn't that disgusting?
Who would agree? Why would she agree to this? She looks upset, actually.
Yeah, I know. I bet it was she lost a bet.
This?
I bet she lost a bet.
But that's not even a joke.
I wouldn't. I know. And it started a whole trend and people started copying it.
If you come up with something like that, to me, that's how you really feel. Like, I'm sorry.
Yes. Yes.
Like, it's, out of all things, this is what you thought of? Like, what?
And so, like, that's why you saying that, like, literally reminded me of it. So and I'm like, you're not wrong. Like, you're actually not wrong. Because for that to become such a trend is actually crazy. And, like, for people to take that and, like, run with it. And, you know, I don't know about the percentage of men or whatever, but
I wouldn't even want to do it for money. Because what message is that sending to those? I know. Girl, that just pissed me off. But I really do believe that that's what most people do.
And that's the red pill pipeline. I'm telling you, like, men just think like this because they're like threatened by women. It's just like begs the question of like, is the woman talking too much, or do men just never have anything to say because they're emotionally lacking? And like, when you're emotionally lacking, like the way you perceive the world, you don't go deep. And so you know what I mean? Like, you just see so many men kind of talking like this, like, oh, well, when you ask a man, like, hey, how was your day today? He'll be like, good.
No, it's fine. And
but then, it's fine, and that's it. But if you ask a woman about her day, she'll be like, oh, well, it was good, and then I went to this store, and then I went and did this, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, that's called, like, conversation.
Yeah.
Like, why are you guys demonizing conversation? You don't want to know what, like, happened to your partner throughout the day? Like...
No, they don't. And I find that
exactly
the reason why, because this is just my own theory, because I think about how men who got on my last nerve, I never wanted to hear anything that I didn't care. Like they would be telling me about something, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I just don't care. So I think if you feel that way about someone, it's because you don't like them. Like, you just really don't like them. Because you got to think about it, if you really, truly like somebody and you're interested in them, you'll be interested in their day. You want to know, like, what their goals are, or, you know, what are your plans this week? You want to know, like, basic stuff. I know anytime I've ever really liked a guy.
Oh, yeah.
The way he walked to the bathroom was sexy. Like, all he did was just walk to the bathroom. And I'm like, turned on by the fact that you know what I mean? I just feel like if you really like somebody, if you're really into them, you want to know the smallest fucking detail. When you don't, it's because you don't like them. And unfortunately, a lot of these men don't like their... Yeah, you're just like, oh, like the whole ball and chain thing or whatever, which sometimes I think that's reverse psychology. As far as like...
I think so too. I'm like, if anyone's a ball and chain...
Why are you there?
It's like someone that makes you quit Juilliard. You know what I mean? You know that's a real ball and chain. That's not. It's not somebody that gets annoyed when you want to go out for the 5th night in a row instead of staying home and helping to take care of your own children. Men call that a ball and chain. It's like, no, try actually like the amount of women that have been like stopped or convinced or nagged by their husbands into quitting a lucrative career or into like quitting fucking Juilliard of all things just to like get pregnant with his kids. That's a ball and chain.
I'll never get over that.
Never.
As long as I live.
I know.
I'll never get over it.
I know.
Ever. Oh my God. And I'll never get over you're my baby mama, I won. I'll never get over that either.
It just exposes it exposes that mindset that like a lot of us know is there, just like bubbling under the surface. It's because a lot of these men don't question these things critically because they think critical thinking is a woman's thing. They think that that's nagging. Like they think that that's like, please, you know what I mean? Like, why would I ask all these questions about something that's very clear? You know, women need to be submissive.
There was a man that I won't say we really dated. We were going to go out on a date and we ended up not going because I think we both decided that this wasn't going to work before. He was going to take me to, I was living in Oakland, California. He was going to take me to a basketball game. And I had never been to a live basketball game at this point. So I was asking him, to me, which were basic questions, a couple basic questions. Where are the seats? Because, and I don't know if he thought I was like going to be upset because the seats were not close to the floor. I wasn't expecting that anyways. I wanted to know because I wanted to decide if I was going to wear heels or not. If we're going to walk far as fuck from the parking lot to the place and then, then maybe I shouldn't wear heels because I like wearing heels. But I'm like, maybe I wouldn't if I know ahead of time what I'm getting myself into. So I asked him like how far it was. And I said, so how does the games go? I've never been to one, so I'm curious. I want to go, but I'm curious. Like, and I was just asking him little basic questions like that. And he's like, why all the questions? And I'm just like,
he immediately was like, why are you challenging me?
And he got really upset. And immediately I was like, I don't want to go. I was like, no, I don't. It was, we got into a whole little argument about it, but it was just, we argued for, maybe 10 or 15 minutes about it. Like, and I wasn't trying to argue with him. I'm like, listen, I forgot what his name was. Let's just say his name was Dre. I'm like, listen, Dre, I'm just asking, to me, normal questions about a place I've never been. I'm just asking.
I love that you
because I like to
like
I like to be
parenting him.
Yeah, because I like to be prepared for stuff. If it's gonna rain, I'm taking an umbrella. I just want to be prepared for certain things. And I'm like, I'm not challenging. Like, I don't know if he felt like I was challenging him. It's weird.
He did.
And finally, I was like, yeah, I don't think this is going to work. He was like, yeah, I don't either. And like after that, I never talked to him again.
You weren't submissive enough for him. You weren't supposed to challenge him. You were supposed to let him lead you off a cliff, Sovereign.
I wonder subconsciously now, when hindsight being 2020 and I look back, one day, so he coached some boys that was in the gym. It was called 24-Hour Fitness. It was like the Magic Johnson one, because the Magic Johnson ones had a basketball court in them. The other ones, like the regular 24-Hour Fitnesses, didn't have it. So that's where I met him at. We used to always be in the gym, like shooting around and stuff when I went through my basketball phase. But anyways, whole nother story. So that day before that, he had on some thong sandals. And I hate when men wear thong sandals. There's just something about
put them dogs away. I don't want to see that.
And I hated it. And I tried to ignore it. And I did. But then it made me think later, like maybe I kind of wanted to get out of. I don't know.
Right. He gave you the ick early on. Yeah. You were like, no, thank you. Closed toe shoes for men. Okay.
Yeah. But he really thought, even if you have nice feet, he didn't have bad feet. It was just something about that. I just don't like
something about a man having.
I think if you wear them at home or around the house, that's fine. But like out in public at the gym, why? For what? Like, why are you doing this? But anyway, so yeah, I can understand why some guys may think women talk too much, and sometimes we do, maybe. And I know some days they really don't be in the mood to hear what we got to say. I get it, because we are like that sometimes. But it seems like that's how they are no matter what. Like all the time. They just never want to hear anything. And that's a problem for me. Because if you don't want to hear what I got to say, why the fuck am I here? You know?
That's the thing.
We don't have anything in common.
To serve them.
Exactly.
That's why. Like, that's the thing that they don't want to say out loud. And they're like, you should be using all this time that you're yapping.
To cook me a meal.
You could be cooking. Yeah. You could be getting pregnant.
So awful. You literally.
So, okay, I cannot wait. Oh, okay, wait. I do want to cover your last point, but I'm just itching to get to those clapbacks. Itching. But let's do the last point, and then we'll.
Okay. So yeah, if you disagree with any of their ideologies at all, their favorite phrase is that you are brainwashed. And you're most likely, or single women keep women single. They love saying that. So they're saying you're brainwashed by miserable, bitter, lonely cat ladies or unmarried, single women. Yeah. So that's how they're gonna, once you don't agree with something, that's pretty much what they're gonna end it with. Oh, you're just brainwashed. Oh, you've been conditioned to believe, this and that. Single women love to keep women single. They love saying that. That's one of the top phrases that red pill men use. Now, I just came up, like I was thinking about clapbacks and
well, can I just say too, first of all, that like you never want friends like that. Like you never want friends who are not gonna keep you single. Does that make sense? Like if a man is acting up and your friend is like,
just work it out.
Oh, well, just work.
Okay.
That is not your friend. That's seriously, that's the crab in the bucket that's trying to pull you down because that's crazy.
One of the things that men say about that. So they'll be like, your friend is trying to keep you single because she's miserably single or
she's jealous of you.
She's jealous of you. But what they don't understand is even if that friend is going through her own trauma and turmoil, she's still. Sometimes, how sometimes you can give people the best advice that you don't take yourself? It's still good advice.
Yeah.
That's the part that they don't get. It's like she's saying you should leave him because he's abusive or he's cheating on you or whatever. It doesn't matter that she's going through the same thing and she just can't get out at the moment or whatever. It doesn't matter that she's single and no man, she can't keep a man and all this other shit. Her advice is still, even if it's coming from a jealous place, sometimes it's still good advice.
It's still good advice.
You still need to get out of that situation.
Rather be single. Also, if you ever doubt the validity of that, ask like a woman above 50 or 60.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. The women that have actually had the experience where they're not jealous, they couldn't possibly be like, in the same like dating cohort as you. They're not jealous of the men you're getting. They've kept a man, whatever.
Exactly.
Ask a woman who's kept a man, okay, for 50, 60 years, if she would recommend that you stay single or try to keep a man. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to us. Don't listen to women your own age. Ask an older woman. And yes, some of them are pick-me's and stuff like that, but like a lot of them
some of
will
them are. A lot of them will flat out tell you,
don't do it. They'll be like, save yourself. Their husband's standing right next to them. They're like,
don't. Oh, they will. Don't get married.
Cherish it.
Like, what would you tell your 20-year-old self?
Yeah.
Never marry. Did you ever see that video? That older lady?
And the husband was standing right next to her, holding like her bag or something? Not that one. No? Okay.
No, that was a different one. But I think I know which one you're talking about.
I love that queen. She literally said, chop liver.
Never get married. Unless you have, look, if you got somebody that's like really got your back, like, then yes, obviously.
You'll know. You won't be asking people for their opinions. You won't. At that point. You'll be
I don't think the person, your husband, won't make you confused.
No.
He won't make you
to where you're seeking advice. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so a couple clapbacks that you can use. If a man say women are gold diggers or hypergamous by nature, which red pill men love to say all the time, you ask them, so who are all the broke men having kids with? Because if all women are hypergamous by nature, there's a lot of broke men out there with imaginary money having all the babies. So
it's like 7 kids. I'm just saying.
7 baby mamas. Yeah. Like what? When a man says, I'm an alpha male, you ask him, if you were, you would never have to say that out loud. I mean, you tell him, sorry. Alpha men don't. They just move. First of all, that phrase is about wolves and not humans, but that's a whole nother topic.
That's a whole nother topic.
I hate that they use that word to describe a human, but whatever. You'll hear a lot of them say, I'm an alpha male. I'm alpha. He's a beta. Like, just know that he's the beta. Actually,
yeah, you wouldn't have to say it. If you were an alpha, you would actually be like moving like one.
An alpha energy.
Yes.
What's understood doesn't have to be explained or said out loud.
Yes.
When they say females aren't loyal, I would say neither are the men. Yeah. Oh, I know. Neither are the men who call women females.
Oh, neither are just a lot of men. Like, they're just not loyal at all. Like, how many men's like wife died and they got remarried like 2 months later? Like, you're not loyal. Like, you didn't even mourn her.
Remember when Shira 7 said that she used to see men bringing their new girlfriends to their wife's funeral? It's crazy. So a couple more and I'm done. Feminist women emasculate men, which is ridiculous because a real man can't be emasculated by anyone, especially not a woman.
Right.
You're a real man. Who's going to emasculate you? Like, what the fuck? What? The last one is they'll say you gotta juggle multiple women, and if you have to juggle, it's because no one wants to stay in your hands. It's like, really. Why do you feel that way? You know how insecure you have to be to feel like I gotta have multiple women. That's an insecurity.
It just shows that you value women more than yourself. Like,
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Why do you need multiple women in order to feel? Absolutely, they value. Yeah, they value women's labor. Sorry.
Yes, well,
more than
that, but also like even just the fact that they're like juggling women, but then they'll also say stuff like, "Oh, women hit the wall," or like, "You don't have a man, so why are you talking?" Like, basically, like men are validation for women, but it's like, well, no, you guys actually think that women are validation for men. You think you should have as many women on a rotation as possible because that makes you more of a man. That's literally validation. Like, that's literally a form of like like trying to validate yourself. Yes, I love that.
One more thing. Yes. They hate the idea of feminism. So when you hear a man talking about feminism ruined the family or feminism ruined women, that's a red pill man, and he doesn't understand why feminism had to happen in the first place. Because if people understood why it had to happen in the first place, then you would know why the fuck it had to happen in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, you would know it's not a bad thing. It's about women having their rights. It's about equal rights. That's literally it. Anything anybody adds to that is just fodder and bullshit. Women's rights. Women being equal to men. Yeah. And when we say we're equal to men, we're not saying physically. We're saying on a human level.
I think we're better than men, for the record. I'm a female supremacist.
Yeah. Exactly. So, I like that. Female supremacist is fucking hilarious. But yeah, if you are a man and I'm a woman and we're doing the same job, you shouldn't get paid $10,000 a year more than me just because you're a man. We're doing the same job just because you have a PP. That's what feminism was about. It has nothing to do with wanting to like axe all the men and put them in the dungeon like they would do us, like they did us. Actually.
They project that.
It has nothing to do with that.
They project that. Yep.
So yeah, that's it.
They're scared that women will deal with them the same way that they want to deal with women. And that's really, really sad. Yes. But all that to say, I know that we're out of time, but this goes out to the mothers. This goes out to like, this is kind of like outside the vetting thing. But if you are talking to your sons about this, if you're trying to broach the conversation, please watch the TikTok that's going to be in the recommended section, and know that you have to kind of approach it head on, and you can't approach it with these vague platitudes, like saying, don't say that, that's sexist. You want to approach it more like, well, where did you hear that? why do you think that's true? And never stop with the questions. Make them answer it. Do not be like, well, that's not true because. Why do you think that's true? What evidence is there? Let's Google it together.
Yeah.
Don't stop there. Don't just start telling them. Ask them and show them. Instead of, be nice to girls, it's like you have to respect women's boundaries, right? It's not be nice to girls can be taken a million different ways, right? But respect women's boundaries is a very firm statement, right? Or like why instead of being like, oh, your teacher called me because you were being mean to this girl, you need to be nice to girls. You can ask, why did you feel like that was okay to do that? And like with a very serious tone, very serious like demeanor, why did you feel like that was okay? Do you like it when people violate your boundaries? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because we're like babying these boys and it's disgusting. Like they grow up to be these red pill losers that I'm not joking. And like a lot of men in an anonymous survey, a lot of college age men said that they would rape a woman if they knew they could get away with it.
Absolutely.
And that's the kind of son we're trying to get y'all not to raise because this is how it starts. So, instead of toughen up or, when boys are crying and you don't want to deal with it, right? Like you can't, that's the thing that sets them on that masculinity thing. So you be like, it's okay to feel hurt. Why are you hurt? What's upsetting you? Like teach them to like draw those emotions out of them so that it doesn't just get channeled into anger, especially anger towards women and anger at like, this current system that they feel like is attacking them or is like a war on them. It's like the only people attacking men are these red pill men telling them you're not man enough. Yeah. You need to be more logical. You're so emotional. Da da da. And I just want to close out with a quote from Bell Hooks. The first act of violence that patriarchy demands of men is not violence against women. It's violence against themselves to shut down their feelings, their softness, their humanity. Mm-hmm. And I believe that is from A Will to Change, which is another great recommendation. We've recommended it before, but it is a great book. And that's kind of the whole thing about the patriarchy is that it is a hatred of women, but it's also a certain type of violence against men as well. Men on men violence, I guess.
It forces men to completely ignore their own humanity. Yes. That's what makes it so dangerous.
Exactly. All of this content overlaps very heavily with incel forums, extremist communities, and domestic abusers tend to feel this way. They tend to feel that emotions are bad. They tend to feel that anger is the only appropriate emotion to express, etc. So we are really hopeful that this was helpful. Please let us know what other questions you have, or like let us know your thoughts and feelings about this. Let us know your experiences that you've had with, possibly your children falling down these pipelines. If you can help each other out in the comments, moms, please do. This is literally this is why we're here today. The reason that everything is happening the way it is because this wasn't nipped in the bud and these men were allowed to cultivate this online space and drag young boys down with them. That's who they prey on. Like literally that's who their content gets shown to is 12-year-olds. So
sometimes younger than that, depending on
how
so
you
when you question them, these suggestions that Lisa said, you're questioning them. You are forcing them to tap into their critical thinking skills. Exactly. That is the point of it, because you want them to get to a point where, you know what, actually, that is stupid. Or that actually doesn't make any sense. Right. When you don't question them, they're not developing their critical thinking. And
if you're just telling, absolutely. They're like blah, 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 blah.
It's rolling right off their shoulder because they're not being forced to critically think. So that's the point.
And they'll just go with the flow.
And they absolutely would just go with the flow.
That's why it's called a pipeline. It just literally means
so annoying.
And you're off. Yeah.
So annoying.
That's I think that's it. I mean, there's lots of offshoots here that I'm sure we'll come back to, but yes, please let us know your thoughts, questions, and let us know if this was helpful. If you're somebody that's been asking for this, let us know if that answers your questions. But so stick around for the mailbag, in which we will discuss whether men and women can be friends if they think each other is hot, or if there's some kind of, physical attraction there. Yes.
Welcome back. And now it is time for us to read our mailbag, which we are really excited about. Okay. So she says, hey, ladies, I just saw Lisa's TikTok about the girl with platonic male friendships, and it's got me wondering if y'all can settle a debate between me and my girlfriends. About half of my friends strongly think men and women cannot be platonic friends if there's any sexual attraction there, especially if they're already partnered. Because they say you'll always end up catching feelings, or the guy just wants to hit and then they'll turn on you if you don't. They don't want their men being friends with hot girls, etc. Some of us, including me, think you can absolutely be platonic friends with people that you find sexually attractive and just be normal about it. Like, just because you're partnered doesn't mean that you're dead. And just because someone is hot doesn't mean that you can't control yourself or keep it in the friend zone. You will always find some people sexually attractive, and that doesn't mean that you can't be friends with them. Is it crazy to think you can have hot friends? What do y'all think?
I have thoughts. I do. Do you want to go first, though?
I guess. Okay. So this is what I believe. I think women can be platonic friends with men.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely.
Any given day. Mm-hmm. Whether you find them attractive or not or whatever, I just think we can.
There are exceptions for sure. Like, don't hear us saying like all women, whatever. Just women in general tend to not take it to that place. Like, some women I'm sure have before, but
generally speaking, in most cases, probably when a woman puts a guy in the friend zone, that's where he stays.
Yep.
We can do that. Okay. I agree with her friends though, because that's been my experience my entire life with guys saying, yes, we're friends, but really waiting in the cuts, waiting for them to catch you slipping, or waiting for you to break up with your man or whatever. And they will stick around with the hopes that one day they will have their shot. If they ever get to a point where they just don't see it happening, they really don't believe it's ever going to happen, or they're tired of waiting or whatever, they will absolutely like turn on you. So I think women can do it, but I don't know if, and don't get me wrong, I think there are men out there who can do it.
I was going to say, you sound like you have platonic male friends. Like,
yeah, but here's the tricky part. And I'm not saying, listen, don't judge me. I'm not saying this to be arrogant or to be an asshole. I don't have one male platonic friend, whether married, single, gay, whatever. If I wanted to sleep with them, they would all say yes. Absolutely. Every single one of them. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. Because, half of them have already shot their shot anyways.
Ugh.
And I'm just being honest about that. So I just have a different outlook because of like my own experiences. I feel like they are waiting in the cuts. Like I said, women can do it, generally speaking. But I think men who can do it are not the rule.
Yes.
They're the exception. So that's what I think about that.
I agree with you. And my take on it is that you can. It just takes an evolved man. Like, it takes a man who is not
operating in his low nature all the time.
Yeah, no, seriously. Like, it takes a man who's not low vibrational, who's not validated by that kind of stuff, who is actually like, I hate to use this term, but like, who is actually like an alpha in the same way that a lot of women are alphas. Like, they're doing their own thing. They don't need, they don't need a woman in their life. You know what I mean? Like, the way that we say, like, women don't need men. There are men who don't need women. Like, there are men who live a fulfilling, there's like 3 of them, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, they are out there, and there are men who are just not like in their lustful nature that's kind of handed to them. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, there's just a lot of men don't really fight it. And a lot of men view conquering women, especially ones that they kind of laid there like a snake in the grass and waited for, like, they view that as like a conquest. They view that as like a hunting trip. And so I totally agree with you that like, it's because most men are weirdos. You know what I mean? That you can't do this and you can't really trust this. But in that TikTok, I brought up the question of, what if we woke up tomorrow and men were able to be platonically friends with women and have the same kind of friendships with women that women have with each other, where, like, I use some examples of like, I was literally just working from home from my friend's house, And we sat down, like I sat down to work and like she went into the kitchen for a second. She came back with like a bowl of fruit for me, just silently. She didn't even ask me, do you want a bowl of fruit? You know, like I'm going to cut up some fruit. Do you want some? She didn't even give me the option, you know? Or like she was flying recently and she was in the airport and she knows I love Toblerone chocolate. And you know, the ones that they only sell in the airports, the like huge ones?
I think so.
Yeah, like literally she came back with
like
one of
those big bars.
Yeah, they're like the triangle, like the pyramid shape.
Maybe.
I mean, some people will know, but yeah, like she got me a novelty item that she thought I would like. And guess what? At no point would she be like
anything.
right? So my question was, imagine if we woke up and when men were actually like that. Like you had a male friend and even if you went and told him like, hey, like, do you want to have sex? He'd be like, no, we're just friends. I don't want to have sex with you. Like legit, like, no, I don't. What would that do to the notion of romance in our society? Do we even know what romance looks like when you don't expect a man to just do the bare? Do you see where I'm going with this? Yeah. Like, do we even understand what romantic love like looks like outside of like men being fucking transactional and thinking that every nice thing they do for you?
I don't think we do.
That's what I'm saying. What does that even look like? What would that be? Because so many women are like, oh yeah, you know, my best friend like flew out to surprise me at my graduation. You know, my best friend took the shirt off her back. You know what I mean? Because I like got my shirt dirty. Like my best friend, she would do anything for me. And then their boyfriend will literally like say one nice thing to them and they're like, oh, see, I know he does. Oh my God, he loves me so much. Like, you know what romantic. I mean?
Yeah, I get
and
it.
I'm like, your female friends like have these men like beat, you know what I mean? As far as like actually being a good partner to you. And so I'm like, see, that's where men like kind of figured it out. You know, like they get to be lazy, transactional. That's why I kind of rage against that notion that you can't be. I'm like, why can't you? Why? Because men are lustful and disgusting. Like, that's the only reason. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, men need to get out of that low vibrational state and realize that friendships are much more fulfilling when you're not thinking about when is my chance to stick my dick in her. Like,
I agree.
I feel like it's very possible with evolved men and you'll be able to spot them, right? And you'll be able to like, I mean, I don't know, producer Ryan and I have been friends for years, you know what I mean? Like he does things we both do things for each other that are non-transactional, that are just like thoughtful little things. Like we get each other gifts here and there, like all of those things, like it's just thoughtful. It's just nice stuff that you do for your friends. It's nice. It's fulfilling. It's good to have, those kinds of like friendships and relationships with people in general. And it will raise your standards for what romantic love really is. And it's like, agree. What I said in that TikTok is that's probably a conversation for like 100 years from now. Like we have so much to fucking unpack with men, like from the ground up, that it's like, I agree with her friends, but I also agree with her. I do agree that like you absolutely should be able to.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. When you come across an evolved man, are there that many evolved men though? And that's the problem. Because I don't think there's that many of them at all. Like
most are just waiting.
I think personally, I'm like assuming in my personal life, I don't know any. I mean, I'm just saying, just because I like, it's hard.
Absolutely.
All these years too. Like literally, there are men who've been my friend for over like 2 decades, just waiting. And they think I don't know. I'm not stupid. They're just waiting for it. Like,
yes, she's talking about you. You know who the fuck you are.
It's a lot of them though. And it's like, I put you in the friend zone for a reason. Like that's not happening. Like we're friends. And I love the idea. It took me to get in my 30s before I had to really just accept that I don't feel like I have any true, genuine male friends that don't want anything from me. And it was hard. It was hard coming to that realization, but it is what it is. Like, what can I do?
So what can we do?
Try to make new male friends, but it'll probably be the same. It'll be the same thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like dating. I mean, look, we wouldn't tell y'all to date most men, like, let alone just be friends with them and like do stuff for them for free and like, you know, put yourself, because it's so many times women are doing so much for these male friends and their male friends are like indifferent. You know what I mean? Like they're not returning
they don't go out of their way
the favors.
To do it.
Yes. Which is why like that girl in the TikTok, you know, she had these male friends and she was like showing all these clips where like they're riding in the car together and like they're doing, they're like cooking her food and stuff like that, right? And people were like, those are not your platonic friends. But she was saying like, you think you can like lowball me? Like these are just my friends. Like this is what I expect from men that are just friends with me. Like let alone if you're going to be fucking me, like I'm expecting this up here, right? Yeah. And I'm like, so what do you do? Because I'm to the point where like I don't accept friendships with men that are like, you know what I mean? Where I can tell it's like transactional or it's like whatever. And that's how I have the male friends that I have, right? Yeah. Because it's like, even if they are laying there like waiting like a snake in the grass, like whatever, at least they're still doing something for you. It's like the same idea that you have with like dating and stuff. Like if somebody's not invested in you as a person, you know, and like invested in like getting to know you, invested in like, you know, helping you with things here and there. And like, hopefully that's mutual and stuff like that. But it's like, you know, it just begs the question, what's in it for you? Like a friendship should go both ways. That's how you expect your friendships with women to go. Like, so why do you accept the bare minimum from men? Like if a friend is not investing in you, then they're not really your friend. Like, and I don't mean monetarily. No, I just mean like in any way. And also, like, I hate to break it to y'all, but like, if you can't stand your man being friends with like hot women or whatever, know that it's not really up to you. It's not like permission based. Like there could be hot women at his work. There could be hot women at the grocery store. Like God forbid, like what are you going to do? Put horse blinders on him? Like you should be able to trust your man to not be like a weird pervert around other women.
I agree. Right? I agree, but I get why. I understand why. Totally. It's because most women know that
we're speaking to the exception, not the rules.
Yeah, I know. Most women know that they're like, if given the opportunity, that the guy will probably take. Because the women are like, why do you need to be friends with that woman who looks like a model, or that woman who is like, you know, you grew up with her, y'all been friends since childhood, and you know they have a problem with that.
Absolutely.
So I get it. I think in my mind you should be able to trust your man, because my whole thing is,
if you don't want to be kept, don't keep him.
I'm not going to be afraid to leave my man around anybody, because let me know. In my mind, I want to know what kind of man I'm dealing with as soon as possible. I don't want to find out 10 years in. Like I want to find out now. So I will purposely, I've done that before. I've actually like purposely left my men around friends just to see what would happen. But you have to be like emotionally able to detach from the situation if something were to happen. Yes. But that's just me. You know, that might not sound healthy to a lot of people, but I'm like, I'm never fully emotionally attached to anybody. So, because I already know shit can happen at any moment. Because
you're fully emotionally attached to yourself. That's what people don't realize. Like, so many people are so external with their like validation, even women, right? Because a lot of times, you know, because there's the other situation where like your man has a best friend and she's a total pick-me, and they're both like triangulating you, and they're both kind of getting off on it in a weird way. Like that's definitely a thing, and you could use that as an example of like, oh, well, you know, he can be friends with women without being like sexually attracted to them or whatever. But it's like, there's something else at play here. There's something fishy still about that. And
I agree.
That's a valid
and women know
thing.
Instinctively. That's why they don't want to leave. They don't want their man to have certain friends.
But it's like, we need to have higher standards for men.
I agree.
And it's the same way that we tell y'all, you know, if you do vetting properly, you're going to vet out 99% of men.
You are. That's what I always say. I say it all the time. Like, you just know, be aware that when you actually check off all the red flags, there's not going to be very many men left. So just prime your mind for that. People always think I'm trying to sound negative, and I'm like, I mean, don't listen to me.
It's just the truth. Like, I don't know, when you look at women's experience, when you look at the statistics, when you look at how men act, like across the board. It's like, it's just the sad truth, because we don't, like we were talking about earlier, we don't hold them to high standards. We're like, boys will be boys. Oh, women are gold diggers. Like women are out to get you. And like men have this whole idea about that. And it's like,
be a virgin, but he gets to sow his wild oats and get praised for it. You know, it's just all backwards bullshit. It's just, I don't know. I never,
Yeah. And I think it's sad. I think it's sad that most men can't be friends with, because I think it's entirely possible. You would just have to be a higher level thinking person. You would have to be like a non-loser. And most women are with losers. So it's like, also like, think about it. If you have this gut feeling that you can't trust your man around another woman,
you shouldn't be with him.
That's not your man. That's not your man. That
should be your clue right there.
That's a town bicycle. That's a public utility.
Not the town bicycle.
Then like, that's a public water fountain that anybody can drink from. You know, he's not picky. That's the problem. He's not picky. And then you got to wonder why he's with you. Right? Again, if you can't trust him around other women, you're just a placeholder. And you know that instinctively. Right? So
absolutely. I'm so glad you said that. You're a placeholder.
Like if he would fuck
and they
his
don't want to be a
best friend,
they
want
to prove themselves.
Yeah,
they want to stick around for as long as possible. So they're like, no, I want this to last. So I don't want you hanging with these people. No, I want you home at a certain time. Like you can't do that, because I know a lot of women who think that them putting down all these like rules and stipulations is doing something. And I'm like, it's not. A man, if a man wants to do, if you have him on a strict diet and he's sneaking, he wants to eat a cheeseburger, he's going to sneak and eat that cheeseburger. Like there's like nothing you can do. Like he's going to find a way. And that's exactly the truth when it comes to anything. So in my mind, you can't be with somebody 24/7 unless you're just a psycho. So you might as well not stress out about it, because you can't do anything about somebody. The one thing you don't have control over in life is other people's behavior. So
yes, I know. And I feel like, people think it's so weird, but I'm like, no, I don't control my husband like that in any way, shape, or form. Like,
and he doesn't control you.
At all.
So it's like,
no. Yeah, exactly. Like, obviously, we both have friends that are all across the gender spectrum, honestly. Like we're friends with a
lot of people, a lot of people.
Yeah. And it's like, listen, the funny thing too is that a lot of women are so worried about women when they should be worried about your man's homeboys.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's true. I agree.
You know what I mean? Nothing's going to stop a lustful man from cheating on you in some way, shape, or form. And the fact that we have so many bisexual women out in the open, but not the same amount of bisexual men, like, let me just tell you, sometimes it's not the woman you should be worried about. Okay? A cheater is going to cheat.
I totally agree.
Like, I'm just saying, they don't. How many women? There's so many women that are like, I walked into the bathroom and my man was sucking another man's dick. Like, seriously, like that's a thing. That's a recurring theme. Like,
I would be traumatized.
I know, and they are. And it happens.
The more you try to control a man's movements and actions, the more craftier he's going to get.
Exactly.
If that's what he wants to do. Because if he doesn't want to cheat on you, he's not going to cheat on you anyways, regardless. Like
he's not even interested.
He's just not going to. If he wants to, nothing you do or say is going to stay. He's going to find a way. So that's just something to take with y'all, ladies. You can't control. You can only control yourself at the end of the day. For now, because we don't know.
Oh my God.
Right now, all you can control is yourself.
And while you can, please do. Like, seriously, set up some way to, be able to be independent, like, and be able to take care of yourself. But if they don't want to be kept, you can't keep them. That's the thing. And it applies across the board. And I agree with both sides of it, but for different reasons.
Right. Have some evolved friends, some evolved male friends. You can absolutely be friends with them. Men who are just like good to their wives.
Yeah.
They're like, no matter what, I don't care how hot you are, I'm never cheating on my wife. Like, if you can find, I would love to have male friends like that. Like,
absolutely.
Oh my God. Do you understand like the freedom that I would feel just being around them? And I know that they're not like trying something. I never have to worry about them trying to slip something in my drink. I'm just using that as an example.
Have to think like this.
I'm just
it's so deranged. Like, it's so
that situation
deranged.
almost happened to me in my 20s too, by the way.
Stop.
But yeah. But I'm just saying, like, I never have to worry about, it's almost like being around gay guys that you know for a fact is gay. He's out there. Everybody knows his husband or his boyfriend. And it's almost like, I can take my shirt off and like change my shirt. And I'm not, I know he might be looking, but he's not like, oh, I'm planning something. No, it's the same thing. That's why I would prefer to have gay male friends.
Me too, honestly.
I need more of them. I used to have a lot in my 20s. I need more. Just because I know they don't want anything and they're fun, and gay guys are funny as shit. I don't know what that. I don't think I've ever met a gay guy that's not funny as shit.
Oh, it's because they're not threatened by femininity. They know it's just a part of their human nature.
Okay,
yeah, because they can be like, you know what I mean? They're like one of the girls, but they're not threatened by that. They're not. So they don't see that as a downgrade. They see it as an upgrade. Yeah. And I love gay men because they're more brave than your. Like,
totally.
You know what I mean? Like that, it takes a lot of courage. And even though we're like, accepting of it as a society, we're not that accepting of it. So I have like
we should be
extra level of respect.
I wish
of course
we
should be.
I honestly think the world would be a much better place if people, it wouldn't divide humans so much. We wouldn't be divided as much if it's,
Yep.
So yeah.
Absolutely.
I might be taking gay male friend applications in the future.
All right. You heard it here first.
So we said all of that to say, yes, if you are a woman, you can absolutely be platonic friends with your male friend, even if you find him to be very attractive. Absolutely. Men,
it's debatable.
Very debatable.
Gotta vet. All right. Well, it's time to read our poll results. I think I gave our all the recommendations throughout, so please check the show notes. I definitely recommend the show Adolescence for dealing with that young boys, especially falling down the pipeline. I have a TikTok for y'all about exactly how to address the red pill conversation. And as always, bell hooks. The will to change. Okay, so last week we had our being hot and having fun episode. And so the question was, what does being hot and having fun look like for you right now? And just so y'all know, like, it's my personal belief that being hot and having fun is the best way to battle the kind of oppression and whatever kind of forces we're facing right now. Focus on yourself. You know what I mean? Like,
I totally agree.
Instead of like doom scrolling, instead of shrinking yourself, instead of being afraid. I know there's a lot of things happening. I know there's like valid reasons for that. But please don't forget that like the way we fight this is by laughing in its face, because it's on its face. Like everything that's happening right now is a weak, insecure, fearful response. So we got to be the opposite of that to battle it. So the options were being confident and putting myself first, investing in hobbies and inner child joy, building community and new experiences, or focusing on career or financial glow up. What's yours? What do you do to be hot and have fun?
I like to dance.
So would that be investing in hobbies and inner child joy? I guess. And that was the winner. So I think you are definitely on par. I think on our Patreon, we had the feeling confident in putting myself first as the winner. But the other two polls, it was investing in hobbies and inner child joy. I do think that like is so important for women because
they kind of go hand in hand though, don't they?
They sure do. And like so much of that was taken from us as little girls and replaced with a toy kitchen or a baby doll or something. And it's like
a toy vacuum cleaner.
A toy vacuum cleaner. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
So terrible. So yeah, definitely heal your inner child. Let yourself have those like fun experiences. And I will say the only thing that I'm a little bit concerned by is like one of the least voted on ones was the career and finance glow up. Let's stay steady with that.
Don't drop off because men are saying we don't care about your degrees because you think it makes you more masculine. Look, who's going to pay them bills at the end of the day?
Seriously. At the end of the day, the day's going to end. And if the bills are not paid,
you're going to be sitting in the dark, okay?
Right. Yeah, we don't want
with
that.
no water.
We don't want that.
We're not doing that. That's very important.
Yes.
I don't care what your background beliefs are or whatever. Just have an income. Jesus Christ.
Yes. Listen to Judge Judy.
Please.
All right.
I love Judge Judy.
Yes, us too. Well, thank you all so much for sticking around. Please make sure you hit all the buttons to follow, subscribe, be notified, hit the little notification bell. Make sure that you participate in our polls. We are, still a democracy, at least on this podcast. So definitely give us your thoughts, your feelings in the comment section. We'd love to hear if y'all, think that women and men can be friends platonically, even when there is some, form of like attraction or a form of like just objectively the other person's good looking. Like, can you be friends with them? Let us know. We'd love to hear from you. And with that, we bid you adieu, and we will see you next week. Bye.